but we're also living every single day, and that is the beautiful part of the death life. Like, what makes it such a imperative process to understand is that you cannot truly live if you do not accept death. And accepting death is just understanding that contracts are inevitable. That is how we exist and move. That is how our energy knows where to go when it comes to our relationship. Alright, well, I started channeling for it, so I guess we're gonna talk about it. I'm afraid to talk about. I'm gonna preface this video with saying that, with transparency, even though I am spiritually learning about this topic, which means I'm ordained pretty much spiritually to learn about this and talk about this. It's just really deep information, and I don't know, I don't want to get taken down or censored or anything, so just, or offend anybody, I guess. So before you continue watching this, I just want you to know that I guess it's a trigger warning, and the trigger warning is death. If you have not reached the aspect of your spiritual journey, or if you don't if you're not interested at all in learning about death or anything like that, then I would suggest that you maybe not watch this because it's kind of heavy, but it's necessary, and it really helps us understand our day-to-day life and why attachment is so easy to form, and just how we can break it and how we can be more mindful about it. Okay, I first want to talk about death and just physically what it is, and then spiritually what it is. So physically, death is when you pass. It's when you die, when you're no longer, you're deceased. Okay, your consciousness is no longer harboring in your body, and your breath is no longer breathing. Okay, yeah. So, and then spiritually, death is the portal to a new beginning, but initially it's an ending, and it's a change, it's a shift. It could be sudden, or it could be gradual. It could be, because think about it, in real life, people die an infinite amount of ways, and it looks different, and some people know about when they're gonna die. Some people maybe get sick and they learn that they have 3 months left, and they really have 3 months left, and then they die. Some people know about their death. Some people, like I said, die a slow death, because at the end of the day, we're dying every single day, yeah, but we're also living every single day, and that is the beautiful part of the death life. What makes it such a imperative process to understand is that you cannot truly live if you do not accept death. And accepting death is just understanding that contracts are inevitable. That is how we exist and move. That is how our energy knows where to go when it comes to our relationship dynamics. And we're completely in charge of that on a soul level, but our ego is not. So with that being said, death is a primordial energy. You can't control death. Death is destiny. It's fate. It's what needs to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. Like I said, you could know how it's going to happen, and you could know, you feel me, the nuances. But at the end of the day, like, the death and rebirth cycle is not something that you can control. And in the same breath, like, the way that the wheel of fortune turns, you cannot control. The way that fate moves, you cannot control. You can only move with the current. And a part of, like, healing your relationship with death is realizing that death is not working against you. A part of moving with the current is the fact that time is cyclical. So all things will reflect that nature. Everything is going to have a head and a tail. I don't know if the head and tail clicked for you, but like the dragon and the snake have been coming up a lot for me. Especially in astrology, when it comes to the North Node and the South Node right now, it's the eclipses. Like, it's just a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And ultimately, Spirit just wants me specifically, and I'm telling y'all because y'all my tribe. Spirit wants us to get to this point where we're relying on death. And I won't say relying on it, but when you rely on death, you begin to rely on life as well. Because unless you're sitting completely in that death energy and you're just being stagnant, you're dead. You feel me? You're not doing that. You can't do that. So you have to at some point cycle around to life. So in order to consciously choose that, like, death and rebirth contract each day, you have to wake up and choose to live. Like, and living is a choice, best believe, because you can be breathing and still not be fucking living. Like, for real. So it's one of those things where you have to get up every fucking day and commit yourself to being curious about all of the wonders of life. And in that same breath, you'll begin to, like, detach from the fear of maybe losing those wonders or losing those experiences. Like, when we begin to flourish in curiosity, it becomes pleasurable for us. And, like, when we feel pleasure, we start to chase it because, we love to feel pleasure. The human is wired towards maximizing pleasure for itself in whatever way it looks like for its design. But we start chasing the feeling that life brings us to the point where we start to fear death. And befriending death just looks like understanding that just because you're grieving today does not mean you would be grieving tomorrow or next week or next year. And just because you're grieving tomorrow or next week or next year does not mean that you cannot live. It does not mean that you cannot continue to manifest. And it's not about manifesting your desires, because we're always manifesting, which is a part of the contract also. We're always manifesting. We're always doing this life and death thing, even when we're awake and go to sleep. Like, from summer to winter, there's a transition of fall and spring, but that's because the death energy is the fall and the spring. You have the summer and the winter, and even winter is a complete death or rest or cold energy, and then summer is the life force energy. But spring, being the lead up to summer, is more of the new beginning, transitionary aspect of death. We're moving into life aspect of death. fall or autumn is, and I still like to call autumn fall, because in my mind autumn is the falling point of like the cycles of the seasons. Like right before winter, the coldest, retreating, restful harvest season, you have the transition where all of the plants, they retreat inward, they die, the leaves fall off, you know what I'm saying? Like autumn is literally a falling point, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a falling point. We need falling points in order to, we need downtime, we need death in order to recognize and prepare for the life ahead of us. So what was I saying? Yeah, so death is just asking of us to I guess this is like, because it's September 7th today. Happy freaking Pisces full moon eclipse, by the way. I'm a Pisces moon. The shit has been shifting too. Like, I've just been processing so much and getting so many downloads, and I've been feeling so connected to God, and just tapped into like, but in the same breath, I've also been shedding so many layers, and like at the same time, like I've been realizing like I'm living and dying at the same time, because spirit is almost asking me to like swap, like as things are dying. It's like that statistic where it's like for every person that dies, a baby is born on the world, on the planet, it's like that's happening for me right now. Like allowing death and life to or allowing endings and beginnings to coexist at the same time, because all death is not endings. Some are shifts. Well, all of them are shifts, but all of them are changes, but some of them are shifts. Some deaths are not complete stop cold turkey endings. Some of them are just transmuting or transforming into things. And I think that death, more than anything, it just asks of us to stop bracing for danger. Like, let life caress us. We don't have to fear death anymore. We don't have to fear change. We don't have to fear shift. We don't have to fear like the need to retreat. We don't have to fear the need to grieve, to grasp, to obsess even. We don't have to fear the need to sit in our humanity, because there's nothing to be saved. Like we are not to be, we don't have to, there's nothing for us to be saved from. We can trust that the cycles that are coming about, the death, the rebirth, the seasonal changes, even the freaking climate changes, and I hate to say that, but everything that's happening right now, everything that's always happening is literally for us. Literally for us. Literally for us. Spirit is bringing death because that is a part of transformation. Destruction is a part of transformation. The tarot card, demolition, like if you want some shit to change, if you really are trying to get to where you want to go, if you want to really go with the flow of destiny, and this is the overarching theme, this is really what I was trying to get at, you feel me? If you're really trying to go with the flow of destiny, you need to learn to befriend death, because death is destiny. Hello, death, life, destiny. Death, life, destiny. Those are the And my brain is saying past, present, future. And I'm gonna journal about that for a little bit because I'm intrigued as to what that download could possibly mean. So I'm gonna look into that, and I might make a video about that too. But if you want to move with destiny, stop resisting the cycles of life. Stop resisting That's it. Nothing is here to punish you. Life is not personal. Spirit, God is not personal, baby. We are God, God is God, spirit is spirit, and then we are the little soul droplets of them. We are the little soul droplets. We are the little, you feel me? We are literally the little armies. We're a little army of God spirits. We're just, and I won't even say we're little versions of them, because we're not little versions of spirit. We're just encompassed versions of spirit. We are the version of spirit that is able to experience itself, and that is why we're here. That's why we're here. But nonetheless, spirit, like I said, that's why we're here. So spirit does not care about, honestly, what you specifically are losing or what's changing. It's not punishing you. Okay? Spirit is living its life, and it is experiencing itself through you. So it is living its life and experiencing itself through you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not worried about you. It's not worried about you. It's God's will, because spirit is living its life and it's not worried about you. So whatever is going on is because it's meant to happen for a necessary shift that is gonna bring in God's will, or your highest desire, your highest will, because your highest will is also God's will, babe. Hello. We are little versions. We are the soldiers, because I really want to reframe also and maybe death is pulling me in this direction as well. And when I say death, I'm actually deeply talking about the spirit of death, because ultimately all of these things are spirits that are asking to be worked with. And when we have fears of them, or when we struggle to work with certain things, is because we need to build a relationship with it, so it's spirit to spirit. We're spirits. Okay, anyways, then what was I gonna say? What was death bringing me in the direction to? I don't remember. But yeah. I also keep hearing sleep is the cousin of death. Get your fucking sleep schedule together. I don't know who you are, but you need to get your sleep schedule together. Or you need to pay more reverence to the art of sleeping. Just let yourself rest. Your sleep schedule could be amazing, but if you're sleeping throughout the day, your body is asking to rest. Your body knows. Let your body rest. Please, go to sleep. Your body needs to recharge and it needs to reset. That is a part of death. You need to reset. It all goes together. Working with death is literally working with the cycles, and working with the cycles is listening to your body on a more practical level, because your body moves directly with the cycles. Don't force yourself to be always moving forward or linear, because that is not how growth works. That's not how life works. That's not how experience and love and pleasure works. That's not how destiny works. So yeah.